Welcome back, guys, to the A.J.I podcast. Episode 6. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day. If you're not already following, please do and share this with all of your friends, your families, your cats, your dogs, your aunts, your uncles, and your brothers and sisters. And if you don't have that bell turned on to get notifications, go ahead and do that. Now, let's get right into the episode. I am here again, as always, with my wonderful and beautiful wife.
Hi.
How you doing, lovey?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
How's your week been?
It was good. I have reconnected with a very good friend of mine, and we've been hanging out more, and I've loved it. I'm really glad we're back to being besties.
That's good. That's awesome.
I've missed her.
I'm glad to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How's your week been?
It's been good. Been going through the ringer with work lately. Been getting really annoyed at some people.
Yeah, I felt that.
But work's work, so what can you do about it?
Yeah. We'll get through it.
But yeah, we'll get into some topics here.
Sorry, my feet are freezing.
She's got her feet planted in my lap right now.
Yeah, they're so cold.
All right, here I have in my notes. I want to talk about the Elon Musk's event that went on. You know, they called it We Robot. Okay, and you had an opinion about this that was a little bit different than I did. So basically, they introduced the cyber bus. Okay, so it's like
Did you show me that?
I think I did, but it basically kind of looks like a Twinkie. Okay, so they came out with the cyber bus and the cyber taxi, and I think they call him Optimus.
Oh, well, I saw the taxi.
Yeah,
it's a self-driving car, but isn't that already a thing? Obviously, it would be better. It's Tesla. But
yes and no. So they have so Tesla has really good self-driving capabilities, but they don't trust, or like, you still have a steering wheel, of course, and it'll notify you if you're not paying attention. So like, if you're not holding onto the steering wheel for longer than like a couple seconds, it'll start notifying you to make sure that you're paying attention.
That's not what I meant. I meant like, because I do know that, but I'm talking about, isn't there self-driving like Ubers?
Self-driving Ubers? No. Well, actually, yes.
In Vegas,
there
I swear we've seen some.
There is, but like, the thing is, they have like those big cameras on top that are like spinning and whatnot.
Oh yeah, to obviously not get in a wreck or whatnot. But
only complication with that is like, if like those cars like get pulled over for whatever reason, like how does the cop handle that?
I assume the cop knows right now which are the ones that are self-driving and the ones that aren't, obviously. But I guess Tesla would be more like, I don't know. Where are they gonna know?
What do you mean?
Is it just gonna look like a regular Tesla on on the street, and like
no, it'll definitely look different because they're
maybe that's why though, so cops can point out like which ones are which. But how do you stop a self-driving car from doing something it shouldn't?
Right, like is the car gonna be able to detect if it's getting pulled over? You know?
Exactly.
It's a little weird. The cyber taxi, it's supposed to, this is how they're advertising it. You can buy the cyber taxi, okay? And then you're able to basically
make the money?
rent it out and like have other people like ride in it while you're busy doing other stuff, so it's like somewhat of a passive income.
Right.
So it's doing all this stuff, making you money while you're just doing whatever. So that's right. So that's what their whole big advertisement about it is.
Which would be really nice, but basically after buying the car for the first couple of, I don't know, years, all the money you're making would be paying off what you just bought. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And then also that we're like saving on I don't necessarily know what I'm talking about, but saving on like emissions and like helping cut down on, stuff. I don't know what the word is.
Yeah.
Helping the planet, allegedly.
Right.
Okay. And so the same thing with the cyber bus, just having a more clean, energy efficient form of transportation for people and stuff like that,
Yeah.
And so now we get to Optimus, the robot. I've been seeing video after video on it, and I think it is super cool. But what is your take on it?
I think it's quite scary. I think it's quite scary because what if, and I don't know how much has been, I don't really have room to say anything because I don't know how it was built. I don't know what it can and can't do. But what that thing malfunctions and starts doing stuff it shouldn't? You know what I'm saying? What if these robots start taking over the world? Like, that's just like scary thoughts. But I guess I see stuff like that on like TikTok and YouTube. I'm like, like, I don't know.
Okay, so the funny thing is that they named the event We Robot. And there's this movie called I, Robot. And it's about this one AI robot that goes rogue and like starts turning against people.
Exactly.
And so
that's what I'm saying.
They probably planned
They probably plan to to have robots take over the world.
That's
yeah,
not what I mean.
No,
they probably planned to make the name like that just for a meme,
Yeah.
It's Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Yeah, I'm sure his plan is to just plant these everywhere and be like, have fun, guys.
But yeah, they're really cool. Like, if you've seen videos, like, I'm
sure they do
with a voice, of course, but like they're just interacting with people and stuff like that is just so cool.
I'm sure they do great things, and I'm sure they could be very helpful. But oh boy, that one's just gonna malfunction, and you're gonna be like, cool.
What if you could get one you ask it to fix your car every time your car breaks down?
You still gotta buy the parts.
Well, I know, but
if a robot cannot go to work for me, I don't want it. If they can't go do my job for me and make that income, I don't want
it. Maybe far along in the future we'll get that. But I don't know. Oh my gosh. This is kind of something that we were getting a little mad at from last night, and it has to do with our whole like technology thing that we're into right now. But Google Homes and Google Minis.
Oh my gosh. And
I don't know if it's because ours is really old or our position of it, but it seems like both of ours cannot listen worth shit.
No, seriously. Like, don't get me wrong, they're great to have.
Yeah, like they're very convenient when they listen to you.
And all we ever use it for is like when we have friends over, we'll play music in the background, or we set alarms.
Yeah.
And when we wake up and say stop or hey Google stop, they don't want to stop. Literally this morning.
The stank face you had on saying that.
This morning, the alarm went off.
Mm-hmm.
You worked this morning. I didn't. And obviously they all wake me up, which I don't care. I can go back to sleep. Whatever. Not a big deal. But when you have to say stop 5 times and it doesn't listen, and then finally when I say it, or vice versa, then it stops. Most frustrating thing ever.
I'm about to walk up to Google and our Google Homes and be like, hey, Google, I'm about to trade you in for an Alexa if you don't listen.
It's so ridiculous. It's just like when I say, hey, Google, stop, I need you to stop.
I need you to stop. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, Google, stop. Dun, 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 dun. Stop. Dun, 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 dun. Stop.
It's like to the point you're screaming at it, and then it finally, it'll let you scream at it once, keep going, and then finally you're like, hey, Google, stop. And then it stops.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't be screaming at my Google to stop.
Ridiculous. Absolutely. This can kind of transition into what we're... So I was hearing today on...
Anyways, maybe don't buy a Google Home. Just get an Alexa.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Imagine a Victorian child.
Oh my gosh.
just living in our day. There's so many stuff that wouldn't.
Did you see?
Yeah.
You did see the newest
Mm-hmm. And that made me.
You Should Know podcast.
Yeah, that made me want to talk about this. So.
But they did it so funny. They're just the
like,
funniest human beings I think I've ever came across.
Right. Like how would you explain pop rocks to a Victorian child? And it's like there's these rocks that you put in your mouth,
but it's candy.
And it's like, what is candy?
But it's like not a rock.
Sweets.
But it's like colorful. And like when you bite on it, then it like
pop. Like how would you explain that to a Victorian child?
If that was so loud, I'm so sorry. I just smacked my head on the.
You're good. There's a little spike in the volume, but it's fine.
My bad. I feel like that's been becoming like a big thing.
What?
Lately. Victorian child.
Yeah.
Everyone like, oh, you'll say something like, now how would a Victorian child react to that?
Imagine if a Victorian child walked in on us doing this right now. How would they react?
Yeah.
Like not in a dirty way, but like if we were like all sitting in a room playing with like kinetic sand or something like
literally
that.
Playing like
or like like a stress ball or a fidget toy. Like how would they react?
Fortnite.
Would they like seeing us playing Fortnite and like
200 full box? They're like
probably have a stroke and die. Or they'd probably think you're God or something. I want to kind of switch over to this is completely off topic, but just kind of the bizarre and like paranormal stuff. Kind of like what our point of views are on it. So like me, I think I would love to believe that stuff exists, but like I haven't experienced anything crazy, you know?
Right.
Like I would love, well, not really love because like that'd be freaky as hell.
Yeah, and if it really is a true thing, like that's scary.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want that around. But
like I want to experience something and like see something just so that I can believe more, I guess you could say. But
right.
It's crazy stuff. And like especially like with aliens, like you're telling me that we have an infinite universe that is ever expanding, and there is not a single other species that can walk and that is intelligent just like us,
right?
Or even more intelligent than us.
Yeah.
Like
we can't be the only thing.
There has to be something out there.
Oh yeah.
You know. What about you?
I mean, I fully believe that
there's got to be something.
There's got to be something, but like with paranormal stuff, not necessarily paranormal, but like I fully believe that there's ghosties.
Ghosties. There's
ghosties.
Oogly booglies out there.
I mean, maybe not ghosts, but just like the random, like 2 episodes ago when I was talking about what happened to me, like what else do I just believe the wind picked up the fork and threw it? Like that's just so like not ever gonna happen the way it happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like there's a lot of occasions where like someone will say like, oh, this is a ghost, but then like I'll be like, well, first you got to look at all of the causes all of like the natural causes that could have done that. You know, like every time I hear noises and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, it's probably the air pressure in the house, like closing the door or making
I do that to not scare myself.
The panels or whatever, and you know the panels I'm talking about, like the ones that go to the attic that are in the laundry room and whatnot.
Yeah, because
so like because when it's really windy outside.
When we lived in the other house, it used to like bounce when it was windy outside. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So like just like the air pressure in the house or something falling because of vibrations, or like there's just so many things that it could come down to, like to explain it logically. But then when it gets to a point where you're not able to explain it, then it gets scary. You know?
Right. But I feel like you would explain it the way you're explaining it is like you're always like, when I hear a noise, you're like, oh, it was like probably just this. Like you just don't ever think about it like possibly being
Yeah.
something scary. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, oh yeah, like it was just the wind, just to not scare myself. Because if I don't think it was something else and I'm like, nah, it's totally ghost, like
Yeah.
then I'm just gonna scare myself. So I do, or I say, it was probably just the wind, just to keep myself from freaking out, especially when I'm by myself.
Alongside that, like, there's ghosts and that kind of paranormal, but then we get to the other side of cryptics and like the paranormal monsters and stuff like that. Like, you know, you've heard of Bigfoot. That's a really
Yeah.
big one. Chupacabras, skinwalkers, like all of those.
Now that's something I don't. It's not that I don't believe in it, but I've never experienced anything. Not that, and I never want to. Those,
Yeah,
those
like
are crazy things.
those are.
I'm okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm okay with those being myths in my head.
Like I find a lot of truth. I don't want to say a lot of truth in them, but like with especially like Native Americans and their belief in skinwalkers like that, they're like they believe in them like
Fully.
like
Yeah.
completely. A
And the
lot of
way,
them
and
do.
like believing in something so scary in like your culture
Mhm.
is scary.
Yeah.
Like to you, they're real, even if you haven't seen one. Like that's part of your culture. Well, okay, that sounds crazy. It's not part of your culture, but like they fully believe in them. And if that was like we had to fully believe in some, not had to, but if we fully believed in something, that'd be scary. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah. And then like you ever hear about the or like the Appalachian Mountains? So like those have been around since even before when the majority of Earth was covered in water, you know. The Appalachian Mountains were above water. Like those have been around for centuries, and
Right.
there's so much weird stuff that goes on like in the Appalachian Mountains. Like they even tell you like if you hear a voice, no you didn't. If something called your name, no you didn't.
No, it didn't.
No it didn't.
Just,
There's something else. Like
I
if
mean,
you hear or like if you see something weird, no you didn't. And like, oh, it just give me the heebie-jeebies, you know.
mm-hmm.
Like there's been so many stories about like people hearing voices or like super weird stuff in the Appalachian Mountains.
That's scary. I'd never want to find out.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
And
I'm good.
people go hiking there all the time. Oh, there was a story.
That's crazy to me. The people that put themselves in those experiences. It's like, why do you
Right.
want to experience something like that? You know?
Mm-hmm. There was this story that I heard. I can't remember what exactly it's called, but it happened on this mountain. And the thing is that there's like four people that went on a hike or whatnot. And it was really snowy, and they ended up going missing. When people looked for them and they found their tent, it had signs of like the people trying to break out of the tent. They found a body like a really long ways away from the tent. They found a body that was only like the only way to describe like the wounds on this body was the same effect that being hit by a car going like 50 miles per hour would get, like you know,
Right.
those kind of injuries, and like so many things that you wouldn't really be able to explain. Like they were in the mountains allegedly alone, so how did all of this happen to them?
Mm-hmm.
So super crazy stuff.
I'd never want to put myself in a situation where the
Mm-hmm.
possibilities of something scary happening. I'm okay.
And then like
I like it here on Earth.
me too. And then we also have like
I'm not gonna disrupt anyone,
what you mean?
like any ghost or
Oh,
whatever you want to call them. I will not disrupt your peace. Do not disrupt mine, please.
that's the spirit, Lovey. But like, there's what am I trying to say? There's like cryptics and stuff like that like all around the world, like in different places.
Mm-hmm.
Like here in Utah, There's the skinwalker that's common in there's, I want to say, in Canada there's like the Wendigo, which is like it's like really tall, skinny, has a head of a deer, like the head skull of a deer or whatever.
That's scary.
And like there's one that was, the story that I heard was the hide behind, and like it hides in woods, and it'll make you feel like something's watching you, but like it can morph into any shape of a tree and whatnot in order to perfectly hide behind stuff, and like it'll wait till you're alone and all that in order to attack you and whatnot. So really creepy stuff.
Yeah.
All right, enough of that.
Yeah. Thank you. Next.
Thank you. Next. Let's move on to the next thing. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot to talk about this when we were talking about like the Tesla thing. SpaceX making history.
Oh.
Catching the rocket. That's crazy.
That's so great, but I need to know why there's 2 astronauts stuck in space until 2025, but they can get a rocket back to Earth. I'm just genuine question.
Oh my goodness. But
Those poor humans out there are probably they're probably not freaking out because they did decide, I'll go to space. That's got to be already kind of scary, but being told you're coming home way after you should is like really scary.
Yeah. The thing that was able to catch the rockets, you know what it was called?
No.
They called it chopsticks. Because this tower in it, like it had like these 2 arms, and it just closed in on the rocket as it was landing.
I don't know if the people in space are getting this information, but if they are, I could only imagine how they felt when they got that back down to Earth. They're like,
really? Really? Is that right?
They're like, yeah, we're just... No biggie, guys. We're good up here.
They probably had like...
It's probably like really? Okay.
Like the biggest RBF on their face. Watching that video of that rocket. So my mom was talking to me the other day. I think you were hearing this too, but like she was saying like the way that just kind of we flow in like day to day and like interacting with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why people like chaos in their relationships,
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like we
don't get me wrong, we have chaos here and there, and sometimes it's a little fun.
Yeah. But
not in a way of arguing and not communicating.
Yeah, like we had, I can't remember who it was, but they were like, I like girls who are a little psycho. And I'm like, huh? What?
You're like,
never.
No.
No.
I'm good. Yeah.
Like they like the confrontation, the chaos, the
arguing, and like I don't know.
I can't.
I don't know. Yeah, and I feel like I don't want to be like a pick me or like I'm better than anyone, because I'm not better than a single human on planet Earth. But I've never seen a relationship like ours. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like the relationships I see are like arguing and fighting and
just not understanding each other.
Or they like jab each other, but like, and me and you do too here and there to like mess with each other, but it's in like a fun, like, ha kind of way. And some, like, I'm never going to look at you and be like, swear at you in a joking way. To me, that's just not, it's not cute.
Yeah.
It's not funny. And I don't know. The way I think about you, I don't know how to explain it. You're like like a newborn baby. You know what I'm saying? In a way of like, I feel like I have to be so careful with you.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel the same about you.
So careful, as in like, I never swear at you, and I never would. I can't argue with you because I feel like both of us are pretty fragile, honestly.
Yeah.
So like arguing doesn't last very long, and when we do, we both feel like crap about it afterwards. And I don't know, you're so fragile in every way in my head. You may not be as a person, but in my head I feel like you're an egg. And if I drop you, you're gonna crack. I can't drop you, you know?
Yeah, you gotta keep me in your little pocket.
Yeah. Like, just gotta be. That's why I feel like we just work so well, because we don't like to argue. We're very loving and we communicate really well.
Yeah.
I don't know. In my head, it makes sense as I'm speaking it out into the universe. It sounds crazy what I'm trying to say. But like, what I'm saying is I think of you as a little thing that I cannot hurt.
Yeah.
And I have to be super careful and gentle with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel the same way about you.
Yeah.
I gotta be so gentle. Be so loving. Be so
and
kind.
even like when I do, sometimes there is times where I can be a little much and maybe get mad at you over something really, really stupid.
Me too.
But then after that, I'll be like, I'm really sorry I reacted that way.
Yeah.
And if I feel like I was somewhat of in the right, I'll tell you, like, I want you to understand where I was coming from in the moment. You know, I feel like we it's not that we don't argue, but when we do, it's like right after we say our sorries, and then we communicate, like, this is why I felt this way.
Yeah.
And this is what I need you to understand from my point of view, and vice versa, you know? And when I lash out or just like, why didn't you turn the light off in the garage? And
I'm just a boy.
And after I'm like, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to get mad, but can you please remember to start turning that light off?
Yeah.
You know, like, I didn't mean to go crazy like that.
Yeah. I appreciate that from you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I appreciate all your lovingness towards me.
I appreciate you as well, and I love you with my whole heart.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do life without you.
I don't think I could either. It's hard to sleep without you too.
I know.
Without you in the bed next to me.
Me too.
Yeah. I feel like
Oh, but back to what you were saying about your mom, though, is I really like the way she explains it.
Yeah.
Because, see, how I just explained everything sounds crazy. Like, it
no.
sounds different in my head.
I think you said it pretty well.
Well, thank you. But the way your mom explains it, it's just like, yes. Yeah, I know what you mean, you know? She says it so well.
Yeah.
And I can't say it as good as she can. I love how much your mom loves like our relationship.
Yeah.
Same with your dad. I love how much they love watching it, but I also adore your parents' relationship as well.
Yeah, me too. I love how they treat each other.
I think that's where you get it.
Yeah.
Your dad, and your personality is just like your dad's. I feel very gentle and soft, and which I'm really glad. Like, the fact that we came from two different ways of growing up,
and yet we're
I am so grateful
in so many ways.
Right. I'm so grateful I don't have like I'm so glad I don't like arguing and yelling and fighting and screaming, and you know what I'm saying, because that's kind of what I grew up around, a lot of fighting, a lot of physical fighting, and I'm never wanted to be like that. I'm glad I didn't pick up anything that was like that, cuz
Yeah, me too.
If that made sense.
Yeah, it did. But so lately I've been thinking just kind of the mind of the average male nowadays.
What about it?
We're some pretty weird creatures.
Yeah.
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 Just the masculine urge to just go at war sometimes.
Like, what do you mean by that?
Just the masculine urge to just do stuff, you know, like,
I don't know.
Yeah. It's like you ever see those videos where it's like, I want a katana. I want a sword. I want a gun.
Oh yeah, I see what
and
you're
stuff
saying.
like that. They're like, man, I'd be so ready to go to war right now. Or like, I could take on a bear.
Yeah.
Like, I could do that.
You know, it's so
It's just,
crazy.
and it's like just random times too.
What you just said, I'm sort of gonna go off topic. We can
Okay,
full
go
circle
ahead.
go right back. You were just talking about like I could fight a bear. There was
Yeah.
this big thing, like it's not a thing anymore, I don't think, but maybe a month ago there was this question going around like TikTok and like podcasts of would you rather be stuck in a room with a man or a bear?
What?
Now, if it was you and a bear, obviously I'd rather just be stuck in a room with you.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't really. Let me look it up because
I would be stuck
there
in
was.
a room with a man. Duh.
Hold on.
You could get killed by a bear.
I know.
You'd have a better
You can
chance
get
against a
killed by
man.
you can get killed by a person.
You have a better chance against a man than a bear. Bears got real thick skin.
Oh, stuck in the woods with a man or a bear.
What?
Says women have been answering it almost unaimlessly. They'd take their chances with a bear. This seemingly innocent question has sparked a hot debate
Why?
across social media. Women are sharing stories of. Okay, so let me rephrase that. Women are sharing stories of SA, gaslighting, and physical abuse, while many men are stunned that women would choose the bear. That's why.
Really?
Yeah, because
That's
I guess
really interesting.
that's what it came about. It wasn't just like any man. It was like a lot of women were coming out with stories of like SA experiences and being gaslit and like just all sorts of abuse. And they're like, that's when the question came up. Would you rather be stuck in a room or the woods or whatever with a man or a bear? And a lot of people were, or a lot of women were picking the bear because of how many men I guess are getting in trouble for how many men that do these things to women.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Diddy.
It really did. That the question was really around the time when he got arrested.
That whole story is crazy. Everything that's been getting brought in.
Yeah.
With Michael Jackson, the Playboy Mansion.
The thing that sucks is I get all my information off TikTok and I'm not even sure what's true or what's not anymore.
Yeah.
I really don't know because I saw this one that said P. Diddy was a reason for the Titanic because of blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay, that's a stretch. Like,
was he even alive then?
I don't know, but come on. People are just pulling
so.
everything out of their butts at this point.
I don't know my history very well, but when was that Titanic, huh? Was Diddy even alive then?
Probably not. This was 1912.
Yeah, I know.
There's no way. Yeah.
Yeah, there's... That's funny.
That's what I mean. Like, people are just pulling stuff out of their butts now.
Did you hear about the thing about the baby oil was actually GHB?
See, and you're over here looking at TikTok, making your own... Because remember you were saying, it's so that cops can't come in his house if they ever had to raid it. That's what everybody was...
Yeah, they were saying like, oh...
Yeah.
There was a bunch of stuff about like...
The cops coming to arrest Diddy and he's like
them just
slipping everywhere.
Slipping on the stairs and whatnot. But apparently they're saying that...
And this is all allegedly because we don't know anything.
Yeah, just from TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok news.
What we've heard.
So the baby oil was actually liquid GHB, which is like liquid ecstasy.
Allegedly.
And so that whole thing...
Yeah, I did see something about
what
that
people
on
are
TikTok.
saying.
Yeah.
What?
I went off topic and I told you we can come back to it. Where were we?
I don't know, but speaking of TikTok, it has been absolutely ruining my attention span.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's attention span.
Mm-hmm.
I was hearing stories about people like having to watch YouTube videos on 2 times speed or having to listen to audiobooks like 2 times speed and just all that. Like, I was brain rotting the entire day yesterday on TikTok and Rocket League. And I did not like it. Like,
It gets boring.
I could have done anything else, but I was completely glued and sucked into my phone with TikTok. And after I would get bored of TikTok, I'd go to Rocket League. After you get bored of Rocket League, you gotta go to TikTok. And that was, I don't know, yesterday just felt gross for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. But you're so bad to the point of when we load into Fortnite. Yeah. Like when we get into the lobby. Okay.
Bad.
We'll get into the lobby. Bad. We'll wait for everybody to get into the lobby so we can, press. For me, it's triangle, so that
to ready up.
Ready up.
Yeah, just to ready up.
Just ready up. I don't know why I just gave you all those details, but the time of us readying up and entering into the lobby. And until the bus goes,
you can watch like 10 TikToks.
You're on
just
TikTok.
To let you know.
Immediately. Sometimes you're on TikTok and so into it, you don't even realize we have taken off on the bus. And I'm like, babe, like, where are we going? And you're like, oh, crap. And then we will land. You'll get downed.
Yeah.
You'll get on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, you are on TikTok at every given second. Like, even bad. To the point when we're hanging out with friends, I'm like, get off your phone.
And it's bad. And I know it's bad, but...
And don't get me wrong, I'm not making this seem like I'm perfect and I don't watch TikTok. I watch it all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm as bad as you.
Not as bad as me, for sure.
But being at home, though, I'm either watching a YouTube video or
I need to get back into
TikTok.
Watching longer YouTube videos.
What did I just say? Did I say YouTube video? I hope that's what I said.
But, you know what? Even like when I'm watching anime, like if there's not an interesting part of an anime, I'll just be skipping through the anime and not watching the full episode. Crazy. Even if like the anime is like really, really good.
That's
bad. And I need to start fixing it.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Because I can still watch YouTube videos. I watch my story times still all the time.
Yeah.
Like, when I go and donate, I watch a YouTube video. I don't have to scroll while I donate. I just can prop my phone up on my purse in front of me and watch a YouTube video. But that's also because I get scared to move because it's so hard to, like, perfectly get them to put it in right. So once it's finally in and it's going, I literally don't move a muscle until I'm done.
Wait, so then where do you prop it up? Just
on my lap. So I have my purse and I'll prop my phone up on my purse and my lap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. All right, so everybody is just loving our little kid stories because they say they just get to know us more and more through that. And so I want to talk about just kind of like what I used to do like during the summertime of like elementary school, intermediate school, and whatnot. I think it was more of elementary school because it was somewhat, it was like three or 4 years into me living into my parents' house where they live now. So we used to have this, okay, so there was this tree, all right? A tree that went straight up, and then there was another tree that like wrapped around it. So like it was almost like the perfect tree for tree, you know? It was the coolest freaking tree ever. And it was so you go in the backyard of my parents' house and you walk down that back hill, and when you walk down it, there's like this, I guess almost like a gutter for like 10 feet, and it was like right behind that, you know? And so we would like hang out. That was like our hangout spot with our friends. Like it was me, my brother, and like 3-4 other neighbor kids that lived up the street from us. And like we would hang out there every day. We had these big cans of like freeze-dried strawberries and fruit and stuff like that I think are still there that we buried like next to the tree. I honestly kind of want to go see if they're still there because that'd be really freaking cool.
Imagine.
And we would like stash food there and stuff like that. So like when we would when we'd go there to
you guys thought you were out in the wilderness and couldn't get home and your house is a foot away. No. more than that, but I'm just saying, like, it was right there.
Yeah.
You could see it.
We would find geckos in the wash down next to my house, and like horny toads, just like everywhere. We would find snakes, lizards. We were like,
Those are all regular down here, though.
our imagination would be going wild there.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure you guys just thought you were out in the wilderness just exploring, and it's just like this little thing by your house.
Literally 30 feet away from our house.
The stashing food is crazy.
There was this...
Guess of how close you were.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so there was this one time, me and my brother, I think it was me and my brother, but we were walking home from school, okay? And so, walking to my parents' house from the bus stop, we had to pass the wash, you know? And like back then, there was usually quite a bit of water that flowed through that. Nowadays, it's pretty empty and whatnot. And so we decided to just take a detour, not go home just yet. But so getting out of school, walking home, didn't go home. We took a detour, went down, started walking down the wash. And I really needed to take a dump. And we were still like a good 15, 20-minute walk away from the house.
You didn't.
And so...
You didn't.
I took a dump. I pulled down, not in my pants. I pulled down my pants, popped a squat, took a dump without thinking that there's no toilet paper.
Oh, brother.
And so I grabbed a leaf. I grabbed a leaf and wiped my bum. It was nasty.
No way.
It was nasty.
I hope you washed your booty when you got home.
I did.
Okay.
I think.
I hope so. Because you don't know it was on that leaf.
That reminds me of this other time where, I didn't, this isn't a poop story, but, I was with my dad and my brother, and we were at the high school. This was like after school hours. We went to the high school field to play some soccer and whatnot, and I really needed to go to the bathroom, and the bathrooms were locked at the field. And so I was like, come on, guys, like, I really got to go to the bathroom. Like, we got to go. And so I started walking to the car. I started waiting by the car. And I was like, ooh, like, time was just moving so...
And you did pee?
Yeah. Time was just moving so slow at this point. Like, I was looking around. I was like, where can I pee? Like, I can't just pee anywhere. Like, there's cameras, like, on the school building and whatnot. And so, like... the urge just got so bad, and I was standing like behind the van, and I was just standing there, and I couldn't like pull down my pants to go pee because I was afraid that there was like cameras watching me, and so
Oh no.
and so I pissed myself. And then my brother and my dad finally came back, and I was
probably crying and embarrassed and didn't know what to say.
They were like,
or
"What
do.
happened?" And I was like, I was so mad. While I was crying, I was like, I freaking peed myself. And I was just, oh my gosh, it's embarrassing. And my brother, or like, I had to take off my pants, my underwear, because I wasn't just gonna sit in my pee. And so my dad gave me his jacket to wrap around myself, and we finally went home.
It's funny. I have a couple stories. Okay. So I don't really remember a lot of my childhood as much as you do.
Uh-huh.
I'm so glad you remember because I love hearing the stories. But Mariah.
It's like not off the top of the head. It's like certain things I hear will like spark memories of like back then, you know?
Mariah will never let me forget when I pissed her off. When I was a little kid.
What happened?
And I was a very lazy child, you know?
No.
I didn't do a lot. And anything I wanted or needed and I wasn't near it and I was asking someone to get it, my parents would make Mariah get that specific thing for me, whether it be up or downstairs. And there's this one time I'm downstairs and Mariah and my mom and dad are upstairs, and I'm like, I was asking him, like, I think I was just yelling at Mariah, and I was like, can you please bring me my, and mind you, I'm like 2. I probably wasn't very nice about it. I was like, bring me my, what was it? Baby swing for my dolls. And, she was like, you come get it. You come get it. Like, I'm not going to get it for you. You can come up here and get it if you want it so bad. And my parents like yelled at her and was like, just take it down to her. Like, just take it down to her.
Yeah.
And so out of anger, she picked that baby swing up and I was at the bottom of the stairs and she yeeted that thing at me.
Over the shoulder.
And so she threw it down at me, made me cry. She got in so much trouble. But she will never let me live that down. She'd be like, you were the laziest kid ever. And you pissed me off so bad that I threw that baby swing at you. And it hit, I want to say it like hit me and I like fell back. And that's probably why I cried.
Yeah.
Another story I have is, so my next story, and I'm sure, like, Mariah, if you're listening, you can let me know if I mess this story up. But this is what I remember. There's this one time, like, I was the same house, but so when I was talking about the stairs, those stairs, at the bottom of the stairs was the front door, like a landing and then the front door, right?
Yeah.
So, and then if you got to the bottom of the stairs and you looked to your left, that was like the living room, and then the kitchen was, like it was the living room, and then you'd keep walking, there's a kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm just gotta lay it out for you so you can make a little more sense, okay?
Picture it.
So there's this one time, I don't know why my dad was outside, and I can't necessarily remember how little I was, but he was outside for something, and I would always get told, do not stand by the door, because if someone opens it, you'll get hit, because the way the door opened, like, once you open it, you could see the living room.
Yeah.
And then the stairs.
So, like, the door was
like,
swinged open towards the wall.
Yeah.
The wall that would, like, connect to the wall of the stairs.
Yeah.
So it was, like, straight in front. Okay.
So, like, my Mariah or my mom, whoever, would just be like, do not stand in front of the door if someone's out there, And it's a big reason was because the doorknob was centered with my forehead. Like, centered with my head.
You were just the right height.
Yeah. And my dad comes in and he's pissed off. Like, our landlord just backed into his car and he had a Firebird at the time.
Ooh.
He was mad.
I could imagine.
So he is just in and out of the house, pissed off. Like, this is when my mom was like, or whoever was like, stay away from the door. Okay. Well, I decided I'm not going to listen. And one of those times when he came into the house pissed off, he swung the door open pretty hard and he caught me right in the head with the doorknob.
Ew.
And at the same time, he probably felt bad, but
fatality.
He probably felt bad, but at the same time, he was like, how many times do you need to be told to not stand by the door? Yeah. And he was already mad because his car had just gone hit. Like, I was in the wrong that time,
I could just imagine him swinging in the door, and then you just see, like, the Mortal Kombat, like, the skull just...
And nothing happened. Like, I was totally fine, but I was obviously crying and upset, and everyone was like, told you to stay away from the door.
His sister was told you so.
But yeah, those are a couple stories I remember. Super off topic, but you know what? I should have said this at the beginning when you said, how's your week? Okay.
What?
My pants that I wear to work.
Yeah.
Okay. They're really nice. I like them, right?
Yeah.
And I carry everything in my pockets.
Mm-hmm.
In my left butt pocket is my wallet. In my right butt pocket is my phone. In my front left is my keys. In my front right is my headphones. My AirPods. Okay?
Yeah.
Keys never fall out. But oh my gosh. In the last week, my headphones have popped out of my pocket and dropped on the floor. And one AirPods dropped. the case opens, your two AirPods go crazy,
It's
go
literally
flying.
just a grenade.
Like,
they
it's
hit the ground, and the AirPods are at that point projectiles.
yeah. So, what I think needs to be fixed is women's pockets.
Heard.
Because why is my pocket a centimeter deep?
Yeah.
Like, why? You know? And on top of that, we work in a kitchen. So when my AirPods go flying, they're landing on the floor of an extremely busy kitchen. Clean floors or not, that kitchen is disgusting. And especially the floor.
Yeah.
And now I have to go and fish for my AirPods on the floor, hands and knees.
Blech.
And half the time you can't find them, so you're searching the entire kitchen. So you're just hands and knees on the floor. So gross.
And like, it's not like you can leave it there, because by the end of the night, there's water being thrown everywhere, and
It's ruined.
yeah.
Like, there's no just sweeping and finding it, because we ain't sweeping and finding nothing.
Now we throwing water
Yeah.
and squeegeeing.
So,
And by the time you find it, it's gonna be broken.
yeah, I just had to
Water
put that out there
damage.
because women's pockets do not need to be as short as they are.
I don't get it,
And it's
because
mad
like
frustrating.
almost every pair of pants, I had this one pair of pants where I had pockets deep enough to go to the middle of my arm. The middle of my forearm.
Women's jeans could never.
Yeah. I don't.
And you know what? And
That's crazy.
I mean, at least I have pockets. Because half of the women's pants don't even have pockets. It's just a sewn thing that
Just to
looks
make
like it has a
look
pocket.
pretty. That's ridiculous.
It's like, at least I
don't get
have
it.
them,
Like,
I guess.
why? That's so dumb.
Hate them. Sorry, had to put that out there. It made me very angry this week when I've literally lost my AirPods like 3 or 4 times this week.
Do you think your sense of humor is broken?
As in,
like the
I don't think-
dumbest things?
not as much as yours.
Not as much as mine.
No, because you'll show me a video and you'll be just cackling, and I'm like, what's so so funny?
What's so funny? What's
You're
the
like, it's
greatest
just so
punchline?
dumb. And I'm like,
Like,
okay.
yeah, it's dumb, but it's not funny.
Some of the stuff that you show me that's like really stupid, I'm like, okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean. And there's some stuff I find hilarious, and you're like, okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, all right. Yeah.
Like, I thought it was funny.
Yeah. Or like, I think one of my jokes are just absolutely hilarious, and I'll laugh at myself, and no one around's laughing, and I'm like, nice.
Give yourself a high five.
Yeah. But I'm the type of person to be like, was my joke not that funny? And then half the time you're like, oh yeah, babe, it's so funny. And I'm like, thanks.
No one laughs at my jokes. I'm usually like, oh my gosh, I'm so funny.
I crack myself up more than I should.
You do quite a bit.
I do.
Some days you were just on fire. What can I say?
I have one last story to tell because everyone told me I should tell it
What?
after I told or I should tell it on the podcast after I told them. So, you know me and my Dr. Peppers.
Oh, yeah. All too familiar.
Me and Dr. Pepper got real close relationship.
Y'all go way back.
And normally, when we work opposite shifts and I'm off at night and you're at work, my routine is I'll get home, I'll take a shower, and then I'll usually go either get food, or no matter how I get food, I will always go to the gas station across the street and get me a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this one specific day, I got home from work and like I got food, but I just didn't want to go get a Dr. Pepper at the time. So I was like, I'll just go get it later. So eat my food, whatever. I fall asleep. And mind you, when I fell asleep, this and what I'm about to say right now will make more sense later in the story. I fell asleep with a messy bun.
Yeah.
No makeup, obviously. and a hoodie and some just like not spandex shorts, but like those like shorts you would wear, I guess, to the gym, you know? So like
Yeah.
they're shorter. So I'm just like this hoodie, those like spandexy shorts. Well, I wake up like maybe 3 hours later and I'm like, how I want my Dr. Pepper. Now I'm craving one. So I'm like, okay, I'll just run across the street. It's like 9:30 at night, you know? I did not fix myself at all. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm just going in there for Dr. Pepper. I didn't need to look pretty for nobody.
You said 9:30 at night?
Yeah, it was late because I had taken like a 3-hour nap.
Oh, I
So
thought this was like earlier in the day, like noon.
This isn't night.
Hmm.
So I go across the street, and where we live, a big thing down here is the side that Dr. Pepper's on a fountain drink station.
Yeah.
95% of the time it's broken. Well, I get to the gas station across the street, all of theirs are down. So I can't get a Dr. Pepper there. And I'm real big for a fountain Dr. Pepper.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's my thing.
She will stand by it.
Yeah.
Fountain Dr.
Like,
Pepper
if it's
smacks so much better than bottled or canned.
Yep. So then I decided, well, I'll just go to the Maverick that's like 5 to 7 minutes away.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's whatever. I'll just go down there. And I also just take a nap. I was like, yeah, go on a little drive, whatever. So I get on the freeway.
Yeah.
And I'm driving, and there's a lot of construction. A lot of it. Well, I missed that exit to go to that Maverick because of all the construction. I was like, there's a Maverick at the next exit. I'll just go there. I missed that exit because of the construction. And past that exit, the construction is over. So then I go all the way to the next one.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'll just get off of this one, get back on, and I'm sure the construction isn't as bad on this side of the road, so I'll just...
Yeah.
I'll figure it out and I'll pay more attention. So I get off the exit, get back on the freeway, and I get to that first exit that comes up.
Yeah.
And I get off. Because at this point, I'm like, I'll just go to... I'm not going to say which gas station because I think it's only here that's called what it's called. Okay. But anyways, I get to that gas station. I walk in, looking crazy. Messy bun, crazy looking because I had slept on it for 4 hours or 3 hours and I'm in this big old hoodie, shorts, just look a mess. Okay.
Yeah.
I get there, I go get my styrofoam cup, start filling it up with ice and Dr. Pepper. And as soon as I pull it away and go to like walk to the lids, I spill half of my Dr. Pepper on the floor. And I was like, oh my God. Okay. So then I
It's just
fill it.
Not turning out for you, huh?
Mm-mm.
Not at all.
So I fill it back up, proceed to go to the lids again, stick my thumb through the styrofoam cup.
On the side?
On the side.
Oh my God.
And I was like, am I just not meant to have a Dr. Pepper tonight? Like, is this just my sign to just drop everything and leave?
Apparently.
And I was like...
You're like, no, nothing is going to stop me from this Dr. Pepper.
So, I try one last time. Successful, okay? Yeah. I cleaned up as much as I could, but I didn't, like, clean up the floor where I'd spilt it. Well, I get, like, to the checkout, and this guy goes, you are absolutely gorgeous, and I hope, and that Dr. Pepper is on me tonight.
Let me find him. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
And I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? And he was like, yeah, you're really pretty. You go have a great night. And I was like, well, thank you so much.
That's so sweet.
It was really sweet. And I get in my car, and I'm like looking at myself in the mirror.
And you're like,
and I was like, I know this man watched me struggle to get this Dr. Pepper and just decided to give it to me for free. Because there's no way I walked in there and he was like, oh, she's gorgeous.
I mean, you gorgeous all the time, baby.
Well, thank you. And that's what everyone was telling me when I was telling this story. But I just, I just looked at myself in the rearview mirror and I was like, there's no way this man found me attractive. Like,
Oh
I
my
look
gosh.
crazy walking in here. But yeah, I successfully got home and drank my Dr. Pepper, and it was great. But the adventure to get that Dr. Pepper was crazy.
Yeah.
But I thought I should just say because it was a funny little story.
Lesson of the story.
Always get yourself a Dr. Pepper.
Heard.
Yeah. Never give up.
Never give up. Never back down. Never what? Never give up. Never back down. Never what?
Never give up. Especially on them Dr. Peppers.
Jesus. Oh, your Dr. Pepper addiction.
Oh, yeah. Hey, probably the best addiction I could have.
Yep. Probably. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to episode 6 of the podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening, for sharing, for commenting. No one really comments, but y'all should. Please.
Mhm.
We love to answer questions.
Oh, yeah.
So please comment. Turn on notifications so that you never miss a podcast when it comes out.
Yeah. I hope we made you guys laugh and hope you had fun listening.
Hope you got to know us a little bit more every single time we come out with an episode. All right, well, we hope you guys have an amazing day, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.